Hello and welcome to episode 119 on the Online Trainers Podcast. Today's topic is how to close without being salesy. Hello and welcome to the Online Trainers Podcast, where we go behind the scenes to uncover the latest tactics and strategies top trainers around the world are using to get more clients, dominate their marketplace, and get their clients amazing results. There is absolutely no fluff here. I'm your host, Lynn Trin. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I was growing up inside of the entrepreneurial career, inside of the business building career, I was told that sales is the most important part of your business, and that if you won't close and if you can't close any sales deals, you're not going to make any money. And I truly believe that's true. Initially, especially when you're starting out your personal training career, your online personal training career, and you're looking for traction and you have leads. Now, this is what I see inside of the marketplace every single day, and this is what happened with me, that I was getting a ton of leads. I was getting a ton of leads inside of my fitness business. I would get leads from a lead magnet. I'd get leads from a huge opportunity ad. I would get leads from Facebook. And then as soon as I'd get leads, I'd kind of shit myself because I was like, what do I do next with them? Right? How do I get on the phone and stop being salesy? And so I learnt how to sell over time. I went to countless courses here in Melbourne. I bought courses online. I studied. I watched YouTube. I did a lot of stuff to really understand sales and really the psychology behind the sales. And, it was over time when I started to just dislike sales more and more and more, because as I studied sales a little bit more, it got even more salesy, right? We were using NLP closes. We were using pre-framing questions. We were ultimately, coming up with all these reasons to really corner our prospects. And then ultimately, we would bite, and almost it was like we were preying on them and they were victims. And I didn't really like this, because at the end of the day, one of the biggest things I believe is that you should be aiming to build a business where people actually want to come and sign up with you. And I know a lot of you will resonate with this. And I don't say this to give you an excuse or to allow you to go, right, I'm with you, Lynn. I shouldn't be closing. I knew that was wrong. And look, at the end of the day, if it doesn't feel right, if sales doesn't feel right for you, well, you're going about it the wrong way. Okay? And so over time, I developed a system not only for myself, but for my coaches that were selling for me inside of PB City, and we would close. And the way the sales calls went a lot of the times, even though conversions might not have been as high, was that we would build trust inside of the marketplace. That regardless of whether or not they bought from us, that call, that 30 minutes, that 45 minutes, that 1 hour, the 15 minutes they spent on the phone with us was well worth not only our time, but it was well worth their time. So, I know if you studied sales, and I know that, if you've been hesitant to closing deals, it's because you didn't want it, you're scared. You're scared of rejection, number one, or number two, you're fearful that they're going to call you out for being salesy and that you're going to be another snake oil salesman, that term that's floating around. And I think that's important, because even if you do, manage to get on a sales call, if you're not enjoying it, you're not going to do it. At the end of the day, success comes down to your ability to be consistent. Okay, so there's four pillars and 4 steps that I teach inside to my coaches, but also inside a legacy group. And I firstly just have to ask, unless you have a good product to sell, unless you're completely certain. And the truth is, this is why so many personal trainers fail to sell online coaching, is because they haven't got the certainty behind the product. That is, they know how to build out a program, but they can't get their clients to follow through. Because if you're in the online personal training space, you need to understand that the psychology of a person, all right, who's sitting down on their ass all day, who's working, who might not have a gym membership, who hasn't invested time, money, effort, energy into joining a gym and then paying for your personal training services, they're a completely different type of client than the ones that you actually see inside the gym. So with that being said, number one, create a program that gets people results. Now, it's not about what you give them inside of the program. It's about habitual change. It's about psychological change. It's about having that support. It's about using pain and pleasure to get them from where they are to where they want to go. As simple as that. This is what we talk about in legacy. If your business isn't built based on results, you don't actually have a business. Okay, you've got a bucket and you've got a hole in it. And every time you pour water into it, every time you get more clients are going to go out the other end. And what will happen over time, even if you do manage to close sales, you'll never have enough clients. You'll never be able to scale. You'll never be able to pull yourself out to work on the business because you don't have enough cash flow because clients are leaking out the other end. Okay, but I digress, and I say that because that's the fundamental foundation of building a business. Now, if we go further and further into the sales goal, really, and here are 4 steps that I do. It's really, the first step is complete certainty. It's setting up the core in such a way where they know exactly what to expect and they're happy with it. A lot of the times, most people don't set up the core. Okay. For example, you want to set up the framework, you want to set up the boundaries, you want to set up the expectations of what they're going to receive on the call, okay, and why they're going to receive it. So today we're going to chat for 30 minutes. And on this call, I just want to get a few things clear. I want to see how I can help you, okay, with the program. I want to see exactly what your problems are, and I want to help you get completely clear on your direction moving forward. Most people don't achieve their goals because they don't have a clear direction. So if I can give you a clear direction of moving forward on this call, would you be happy with that? Okay, and of course the answer would be yes. Certainty around your product, certainty to take control, certainty to ask questions, be inquisitive, okay? Never ever are you in this position where the other person is controlling or dictating the call. That's certainty, it's a framework, okay? And of course there won't be a script with this, but it comes out with your ability to go, I'm certain. And the energy vibrates. Most of the times we do our calls on Skype, on Zoom, because that increases the conversion rate. Because most people, when they speak, they're in a low vibrational state, which means they transmit low energy across the phone. And if you've got a monotone voice or you don't sound particularly exciting, the chance of you converting a person decreases. Okay, so certainty is the first framework. The second one is active listening. Okay, and active listening is controlling, dictating, controlling the conversation, moving them from side to side, understanding, listening. Okay, understanding where they currently are and where they want to go. You want to listen of where they are and why haven't they gotten there? And even if they get there, what's their blueprint? Because here's the truth. If you can show to a prospect, right, of where they currently are, why they haven't gone where they want to go, and even if they were to do it themselves, what is the game plan, right? If they can't map that out for you, the chance of them succeeding is 0. Because even if they want to go, let's say I want to go from Melbourne to London, and right, there were no planes, nothing existed. There was just me and a coach. And I didn't know the blueprint on how to get there. I couldn't tell you exactly how I was going to get there. There's no chance I'll get there because I'll get confused and I'll fall up. I'll walk, 5 kilometers north. And this is the time before airplanes and services and commoditized solutions. But I'd walk and I'd fail. So if you can show to your client and ask them where they currently are, why they haven't achieved the results, where do they want to be 6 months from now, 3 months from now, 12 months from now, figure out exactly where they want to go and then try to make them connect the dots. Then you actually allow them to see that they actually don't know, okay? And when they don't know, that's when you paint the vision for them. Okay, so the vision's the next step. The vision is all about creating the vision inside of their mind to go, holy crap, here's how we're going to take you with this program. Here's what we're going to do. Now you don't tell them what to do, you tell them how you're going to do it. Okay, and this is coming down to, right, you don't tell them what to do, you're going to tell them how your program is going to do it. So, step number 1, this is what we're going to do. We want to set you up fundamentally with your nutrition. Step number 2, then we're going to increase your engine inside of your body, right? That the engine increases when you start to have the right formula to gain more lean muscle mass, right? The right recovery, once we get your hormones balanced. And then step number 3, step number 4, and then the end result. So you've literally mapped out your pathway. And then you tell them, the honest truth is, right at this very moment in time, you're probably not going to get to your goals because you don't have a clear pathway, right? Is what I'm painting for you a clear pathway? Most people, even though they know their path, this path, and they try to do it on themselves, the statistics show, I've had this call hundreds of times. And when I went back to the people that got off the call and they had clarity and they thought they could do it themselves, 92% of people actually failed or they gave up. And then you really get them to relate to their goal. Okay, so this is completely not salesy because at the end of the day, they're receiving so much value, right? They're getting completely clear. What you're giving them is complete clarity. Okay, and ultimately the last one is the sales process, right? This is where most people screw it up. This is where most people will say the price and then they'll start to stutter. This is where the level of vibrational energy goes down, right? So if they really want what you have, you've gotten this to them. If you've gotten them to this point of ultimate desire of what you have, and they see that the only way to be successful is to join your program, the next step is, are you in? Are you ready to commit? Are you ready to invest in yourself? This program's an investment. You're going to invest in your coach. You're going to invest in a coach to guide you. You're going to invest in a coaching program. You're going to invest in yourself to commit, to take action. You're going to invest in a community, right? You're not paying, you're actually investing to get these results. Because if you're going to try to do it on your own, these are the paths that you would take. This is how much it will cost you. This is how much time it will take. And the chance of you succeeding is 0 to none. So why would you do that? Why don't you take this shortcut? Why don't you invest so that you can come out with way more in the long term? Now the investment might be $500. Okay, so the investment is $500 if you pay up front today, or you might have a downsell with a payment plan. Now a lot of times you might even start off with the payment plan, right? You might go, look, well, it's $67 a week. Okay, that's the investment it's going to cost. The investment covers your coaching, covers your fees. $67 a week, that's equivalent to $9 a day, okay? Or if you pay up front, you get 2 weeks free, okay? So I've come up with this framework because when I've used it and I've really thought about my prospect, person with an actual problem who I can get clarity with on the phone to make them see, okay, even if they don't go on our program, I've left so much goodwill inside of the marketplace with them, they're going to sign up later because everyone else is trying to sell them. Everyone else is trying to use those NLP tactics. Everyone else is trying to pre-frame questions. Everyone else is trying to use a script. But you can get away from using the script and actually sell them based on building trust, right? Based on actually going in there and giving them complete clarity on why they're there. Going on adding goodwill in the marketplace, you will change the game forever. Your sales process, you actually get to enjoy. You'll have new content to actually write about. And ultimately, if you're enjoying the process, you're going to do it more. Okay? So I hope that helps. So what I want you to do today, your one task, to refine your sales process. Hit me up on Facebook. Hit me up Instagram, Snapchat. Instagram is instagram.com/LNTrin. Hit me up with your sales script. Okay, let me know. Record a few calls. Send it over to me. Put it in the Online Trainers Club. Get some feedback. Or ultimately, you can practice with your accountability partner to whom you're going to share this podcast episode with today. And of course, this is amazing. This podcast show has grown from, when I first started out, 50 listeners to, 100 downloads. And right at this very moment in time, we've reached over 1,800 downloads per day, which is absolutely phenomenal, especially since it's all organically driven. So you guys are doing a great job at sharing it. And I know that sharing it, I've received so many inboxes and so many messages every single day saying, oh my God, I've been implementing by listening to your shows. I've already made X amount of money. So the truth is, if you're not sharing it, you haven't made the money. It's because you're not implementing. You're not implementing because you're not keeping yourself accountable. So go and do that. Keep yourself accountable. Share the love. And of course, I'll see you in the next podcast episode. Alright, if you enjoyed this podcast, please leave me a 5-star review on iTunes and feel free to leave a review, and that way I can respond and I can take that on board in developing content to serve you. Now, if you're not a part of the Online Trainers Club on Facebook, please do yourself a favor and be a part of the conversation. That's where I add daily tips, tricks and strategies on how you can build out funnels, how you can get more clients and ultimately become a better online coach. Thank you for listening.